Everybody, welcome to the How to Be Cool podcast. My name's Tony Zarin. I'm one of the coolest guys ever. From being up on the biggest developments in Poppy Playtime lore to knowing what's going on with the Sprunky drama. Basically, if something's happening that's cool, I know all about it. And that's why I've started a podcast with my friend Nick Naney, because quite honestly, this guy is out of touch. He's not cool. He is basically what you call a millennial, and he just doesn't know any of the cool stuff that my generation, Generation Alpha, knows about. So I thought maybe if I get a podcast, get him on here, he'll listen to me, and I could teach him how to be cool. Just for example, this is how out of touch and uncool Nick is. Nick thinks that swag is better than Rizz. Mm-hmm. I mean, it makes no sense. Rizz is one of the coolest things you can have. If you have Rizz, you can Rizz up anyone. You could Rizz up Pokimane. And I bet you know who that is. So Nick, the fact is Rizz is cooler than swag.
Okay, well, you know what? Yeah, I am a millennial. I'm an elder millennial, which means I have experience and I got knowledge up in my dome. And that's why I know that swag is way cooler than Rizz. Rizz was invented by the Rizzler, and he's a damn child. That boy, he probably hasn't even seen a boobie, okay? And swag was invented by pirates, also known as the coolest people in history. You can't fight that logic, Tony.
Well, first of all, you're wrong. This just shows how out of touch you are. Rizz was invented by Kai Cenat. Kai Cenat, okay? And he's seen over 100 boobies. Also, if you have Rizz, you can do whatever you want, okay? Let me explain, okay? If you have Rizz and you're a beta, you can become a sigma without ever having to be an alpha. Do you want to be a sigma, Nick? Do you want to be a sigma? I think you do. So maybe study up on Rizz and stop walking around like you think swag is still cool, okay?
Well, you know what? You're making me want a sig more. I want to smoke a cigarette more from talking from talking to you. You know what? When you break it down at the end of the day, just having swag sounds a lot cooler than having Rizz, all right? Having swag, people are like, all right, he's got swag. I love that. If you say, I have Rizz, sounds like you got to go to the doctor so he could check your pee-pee and your butthole, okay?
No. If you say you have Rizz, everyone thinks you're the sigma. If you say you have swag, everyone thinks you're the beta. And the thing about Rizz is that unlike swag, where there's only one kind of swag, as far as I know, there's so many kinds of Rizz. For example, Skibbity Rizz. Do you know what that is? That's the kind of Rizz where you know all the Skibbity toilet lore, and you Rizz up a girl, you go out to her and go, I know all the Skibbity toilet lore, and you Rizz her. You probably don't even know about Skibbity Rizz. So don't come in here saying swag is cooler than Rizz. We don't even know some of the kinds of Rizz, such as Skibbity Rizz. You're out of your mind.
Well, I just know one thing. You don't need to differentiate swag, all right? You can have any kind of Rizz you want, all right? Vanilla Rizz, chocolate Rizz, whatever there is. But swag, it's universal, baby.
Well, let me ask you, do you think it's cool to have L Rizz? Do you want to have L Rizz?
No, I would not. I wouldn't.
Well, too bad, because you have it. Now, we have a bit of a guest coming in. Nick, I forgot to tell you that we did have a guest this week for the podcast.
I guess I should have.
You were busy trying to have swag. I rizzed a guest to come on the podcast who is going to hopefully take my side in this whole debate. It's Dan Licata. And I think you guys know each other.
I did not expect to see you here today.
I didn't expect to see him. Okay.
Yeah, sorry. I told Dan the podcast was being done with Haley Welch, the Hawk Tua girl. Sorry, Dan. I don't even know her.
Is she coming at all, or
she might, but it would be just by accident. Okay. She doesn't know about this, but she might just walk in.
Okay, fine. Possibly. Let's get this
right,
over.
I brought some merch for her to sign. But anyways, I do just want to say, Nick, you started another podcast.
What do you want?
Look, dude, I just want to say this. I know in your personal life you are polyamorous, and that's your fucking business. But professionally, you cannot be polyamorous. You cannot just start new podcasts with new people without talking to me first.
Listen, man, Italian. We've done the studies. It's not going anywhere. All right, I'm not Italian anymore. I'm cool now.
Their previous podcast was about being Italian.
That's right.
I'm sure everyone knows that.
Everyone knows.
Really famous
everyone knows chicken parmesan. All right.
Yeah. Okay. Well, if that's how you want to play things, maybe I'll start a new podcast with Nick DiPaolo and call it Nick Dan Paul Licata.
You better not.
Okay.
You better not.
I'll take you to small claims court, dude.
Yeah, well, I'm going to take you to Nick Claims Court.
Okay.
Start another podcast with another Nick. I didn't start a podcast with another Dan.
Yeah. Well,
I'm taking you both to big claims court because I claim that I have more Rizz than either of you. So
all right, yeah, fine. Let's just do the pod. Let's do our pod.
Okay. I'm willing to just like set that aside for now, but after this, I think we really need to have a long discussion.
Yeah, I think we are going to have a long discussion.
But please don't have any, because we're doing a podcast, so no discussing of anything on here. We're just here to do a podcast.
Okay.
All right. Now, Dan, what do you think? I don't know, you missed out because you were, Dan was out in the other room smoking a cigar, but we were in here debating what's cooler, swag or Rizz. What do you think about this whole topic?
Now, I'll be perfectly honest. I got to go with Rizz on this because,
of course,
listen, you can have Rizz and no swag and still get laid, but you cannot have only swag and get laid.
Absolutely,
because you need Rizz. You can't have swag and no Rizz.
Ask anybody.
You can't have swag and no Rizz.
Ideally, you want to have both, but if it came down to only having one, you gotta go Rizz. Otherwise, you going home alone, son.
Ask anyone in my polycule. All right, I've been doing the swaggy. All my, the past couple of years, I've been doing the swag. That's what I call it. That's what everybody in my polycule calls it. The swaggy.
They call you the swaggler?
They call me the swaggler in my polycule, okay? Because I know how to get people in. I didn't even know what Rizz was until last year, all right?
The swaggler, I don't know, man. That's kind of a whack nickname.
Sounds like you're choking on something.
Yeah,
I got swaggler. Oh.
When I hear the swaggler,
like.
when I hear the swaggler, I picture like a fucking a old black and white movie, and then the town drunk comes in, and everyone goes, "Ooh, the swaggler's here," and it's good for a laugh, but ain't nobody fucking that guy.
Hey, I'll tell you what, I'm fucking a lot of people with this, and a lot of people in my polycule are small claims judges. So
wow,
yeah,
Ooh, okay. I really would like to. Well, get to know one of those just because I'm having issues with my dishwasher.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah. I know this is not really on topic for the Rizz, but I got to go to small claims court because a repairman broke my dishwasher. So if you could just talk to some of the members of your polycule while you're
we'll see what happens.
Maybe bring it up during you bring it up. Maybe during
I guess you like swag now.
Yeah.
What did he do? Did he shot it with a Uzi?
No, he tried to Rizz it up. Actually, he was like, "I was like the dishwasher number." He just comes in, "Don't worry, I'm going to Rizz up your dishwasher."
And he just started looking at it like,
yeah.
Well, there you go. Fixed. Isn't that so? There you go. Rizz has its the
downside.
Downsides, yeah.
Yeah, it is kind of making me think about that. But quite honestly, Dan, let me ask you something. Have you ever been Rizzed in your life, or has that ever happened to you?
Absolutely. I was in 8th grade, and my gym teacher, he basically was like, "Hey, I have this new gaming system that hasn't even come out yet." I was like, "Wow, what's it called?" And he said PS3. At the time, PS3 had not come out yet. It wouldn't come out for some time. So I'm like, "Wow, you got the PS3?" He said, "Yes. Do you want to stay after school and play it?" And I said, "Of course." And
the rules.
Yeah, that sounds awesome.
Yeah, turns out he did have a beta prototype of the PS3, and we did play it, and nothing weird happened. So, kind of a happy ending to that story.
That was not where I was expecting.
I was hoping. If you were, let's say you're a little older and you do kind of hang around high schools a lot, do you think that that's something that maybe would be a good idea to say, I have what's coming up now, PS6?
PS6.
And maybe I could make some friends. Nothing weird. Just invite some younger friends over to sort of game with me, because I find that, I hang out with a lot of people like the millennial generation. They don't have Skibbity Rizz. They don't know the Skibbity toilet lore. So I just want to have some maybe younger people kind of hanging out around my house so they can talk about Skibbity lore.
Yeah, well, it's important to know if you're going to hang out around high schools or stuff, you should look up what the next PlayStation number is coming out. At least have that in your back pocket, I feel.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
that's always something you want to have written down on a piece of paper in your wallet.
Yeah. A big piece of paper.
Yeah.
And
Just
maybe try to
fold it up
rhyme it
30
like
times.
6 is next. Six
Yeah.
is next, that kind of thing.
Wonder what PlayStation. There's a famous saying that goes, "I don't know what weapons the next world war will be fought with, but the one after that will be fought with sticks and rocks."
Right.
So I don't know what games are going to be on the PlayStation 6, but PlayStation 7 the games will probably be whack. Mm-hmm. I would say. And that's kind of the equivalent expression.
Wow.
Something to sort of get you thinking about where we're going in the culture with Rizz.
Yeah,
and
they
Swag.
say that even number PlayStations are the best ones, and the odd ones are worse.
Do you
The
remember?
odds are odd.
Do you guys
Yeah.
remember Ellen DeGeneres' tweet about PlayStations and iPhones? Ellen DeGeneres. See if I can find this iPhone. tweet.
Shout out to Ellen.
Yeah, she's one of my
She has
favorites.
Rizz and Swag.
Yeah.
I would say.
Okay, this is one of her most famous tweets.
Oh my
This
God.
is her most famous tweet.
Yeah.
Loading up. 200 years in the future. This is Ellen DeGeneres.
Act it out, Tony.
Yeah. Okay. I'm trying to see if I could do an impression of Ellen. She does her dance. I can't do it, but she goes 200 years in the future. Honey, have you seen my iPhone 378? Here we go. I need it to pre-order my PlayStation 6.
Oh my God. And she tweeted this November 2020 during, height of the pandemic.
Right after the pandemic.
Right when the elections
the
going
election's going on. Chaos in D.C. And Chad, I follow this guy. For some reason, they give you the people you follow. Bad boy
Do you
Chad.
think she showed this to George W. Bush
Yeah,
before
absolutely.
she tweeted it.
He said, "Right, why don't you change it to iPhone?" She had probably had an iPhone 377. He goes 378. It's funnier if the numbers are different. And
They're always briefing ex-presidents on what the funny numbers are.
So and PS. We're still on PS5, so fortunately the joke is still
I
funny.
caught Ellen's bio, or comedian, talk show host, and ice road trucker. That's really
in
good.
her bio.
Yeah. She's not actually an ice road
My
trucker.
tweets are real and they're
She's
spectacular.
Dory. Why she should put Dory in the bio?
Yeah.
Come on, that's where most people know her from.
My tweets are real and they're spectacular. This is a reference to Seinfeld.
Tony, you should reply to that tweet.
She has 73 million followers. What was her last tweet?
Tony, you should reply to that tweet. Just say, "Shut up, Dory."
I deleted all my tweets, but I'm going to do this. Shut up, Dory. How about you find, reference to Finding Dory,
Sure.
a better joke.
Wow.
Signed, Tony. So again, I don't really have much presence on there anymore. But if you look me up, if you look up Ellen DeGeneres' tweet, November 21st, 2020, I've left a pretty savage burn on it.
Yeah.
So we've talked about Swag, we've talked about Rizz, and now we're at this segment of the podcast where Nick reads from his fantasy novel.
Oh, great. Yes. Okay. Cool.
I gotta stop. These chairs are squeaky.
I know. That's, yeah.
Anyway,
I've written another fantasy novel, and I'm so excited to, Dan, this is maybe part of the reason why our podcast didn't work out, because you didn't let me read any of my fantasy writings, and that's a big part of who I am.
I wanted you to write more mob-related stuff, more crime dramas, but you were really leaning into other genres that I was
The
not.
mafia does
okay
not
with.
exist in fantasy realms, and that is something that I have no control over.
I disagree. I think that what are those guys from Lord of the Rings? The ugly guys. Orcs.
The orcs?
They're the mafia.
No, that's
right?
Yeah, no, I would say the orcs are
The orcs are
a
mafia.
mafia of some kind. But also, sorry to go back. Some would argue that Tony Soprano has Rizz but no Swag. Would you agree with that statement?
No, I would disagree completely.
Okay,
because also you can't post-date Rizz. Okay, Rizz he lived in a time before Rizz. So he's complete swag being, you know.
I fully disagree. You can't just say that Rizz didn't happen in the early 2000s.
But if we didn't,
Rizz was happening.
They just didn't have a word for it.
They didn't have a word for it.
Do you know who had the most Rizz of all time? Jesus. Okay? And if he came out today, they'd go, that's the real Rizzler.
But
and he
COVID
was just a stinky hippie.
Yeah.
COVID didn't exist back then when we say that he has COVID, you know? I mean, it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, it's a good point. Yeah, I didn't think of it. Okay, you're right. Well, let's hear from the novel.
All right. Thank you. Okay. There were 3 towers above the kingdom of Monsieur le Daw.
All right, so we're going to have to stop you there because right now we're checking in with our producer. And like I said, it's awesome, you know, in this kind of overly
we'll come back.
Yeah, no, we're not going to. In this overly technological world, sometimes it's hard to find people that are both have the human touch and understand the technical stuff. But in this case, our producer has both. So let's just check in with our producer for a little see how things are going.
Hey, Dan, Tony, and Nick. Just wanted to check in and let you know how things are going so far with this episode. The discussion about Rizz versus Swag is already turning out to be hilarious. You guys are bringing so much energy to the debate, and the banter between you 3 is gold. It's awesome how you've each brought your unique takes to the table, and the audience is going to love this. We're halfway through, and the vibe is strong. Keep it up. Can't wait to hear how you wrap this up.
All right, great. Seems like things are going well. And
and I guess I could finish my...
Yeah, no. Actually, I think you can do that again. What I'm going to hit a button. It's a little square button on the recording thing, and that's going to actually boost the sound of you reading from your novel. So when I hit the square, it's the white square that's next to the red record button. Will record your fantasy novel reading, but will make your voice sound better.
Okay.
So, but instead, we're moving on to something else.
All right.
Dad, you're going to love this part of the podcast. The guys' corner.
Oh yeah, there it is. Guys,
ladies,
stay home.
Yes,
Yeah.
And all the ladies listening, cover your ears because I wanted to just create a space. You know, nowadays probably the hardest thing to do is be a guy.
It's illegal.
It's illegal.
Yeah.
When you're a guy, when you walk out, you basically have a target on your back.
Yeah.
And so I wanted to say, let's have a segment in the podcast for guys because you know what I mean. Where we can just kind of vent about the stuff we go through as guys. You know what I mean? Like I went to get a new pair of truck nuts for my truck. And these are really funny.
Nice.
They look like nuts. I go into the store and the cashier says, "We don't have those anymore. We're woke now. We can only get non-binary truck ovaries."
Oh my
That's what
God.
they told me at the store. And this is the kind of crap we're dealing with as a guy. So, Dan, have you had trouble being a guy lately?
Yeah, being the guy has never been harder, if I'm being honest. Yeah. I don't want to get emotional, but I had my great aunt passed away recently.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's okay. So we're at the funeral home, and I'm telling the funeral director, like, listen, like I knew my aunt very well. This is what she would want. She would want us to be playing cut scenes from video games where, you know, women are getting piped down, essentially. You know, just like I want, like, you know, a projector screen, and it's just a compilation of cut scenes from video games where women are getting piped down. Funeral director says, I don't think that would be appropriate. I forgot to say female funeral director. You don't see that very often. That should have been my first fucking red flag.
Let me guess. Blue hair and a nose ring, probably.
How did you fucking septum piercing?
Septum
What
piercing. Blue
experiences
hair.
they have dying anyways. I mean, you know.
It's like you never fucking died before.
Yeah, well, us guys die every time our team loses the big game. But anyway, continue.
I mean, I've also just, you know, I can't. My dealer does not know where to get DMT, but he does have a snake, so you know he's sometimes will like let the snake bite me, and then I tap him on the shoulder. He'll hit me with the anti-venom, so I know what it's like to die. Okay, without actually dying. Anyway, she's trying to tell me that there's probably gonna be children here, so we can't play the cutscenes of the women getting piped down because that's a little inappropriate. I said, you know what's inappropriate? You disrespecting the legacy of a great woman.
Yeah.
By not letting her have the funeral that she fucking would have wanted. So yeah, I'm still pissed about
There's nothing
that.
sacred.
We're not going to have a funeral.
Yeah.
We're not having a funeral for her.
Yeah,
now.
I mean, at this point,
There's no way. There's no way.
way.
If I can't have the funeral that she would have wanted, then we're just not going to fucking do it.
yeah.
Oh, that blows. Nick, any guy news for you? Anything trouble?
Well,
a guy?
I mean, it's a jungle out there. You really, for a guy, you really can't be I'm like afraid to even say it, a man. I mean, what? Where did all I feel like as a guy, you're always looking for like people barbecuing.
Yeah.
Those are like where you go. That's kind of like your recharge station.
That's my happy place. Running the grill. You know what I mean? That's my happy place.
And you see it less and less. I mean, it used to be you just find a grill and like people are like, oh, it's cold out. There's no grill. And it's like, what? And so lately I've noticed that, at like Chipotle, they have a guy grilling. So I like to go over there and I try to. Lately I've been trying to like go, to the guy grilling the meats and be like, you should have seen this dump I took the other day. But they now are like trying to prevent me from doing this.
It's ridiculous because there used to be a time when we were growing up.
Yeah.
When a guy, if you said you wanted to grill, they let you grill.
Yeah.
Now, do you know what happens? You know what they send you to? DEI training. All right, let's move on. Next segment is called videos. Dan, you've seen videos before, but not like
videos.
this. So we've got some great videos. So the first one,
and we should plan what our comments are going to be beforehand.
Okay, yeah.
Because
so I'm going to say last episode when something funny happened in the video, I said bro, and I did this with my head. So this time I'm going to say, dude, what?
Yeah, that's good.
All right, Dan, you have any thoughts of what you're going to say when you see something crazy in a video?
I'm going to say that's going to leave a mark.
Oh, that's great.
I'm going to keep mine pretty horny. I'm going to say stuff like, I ain't fucking that, or, things of that sort.
All right, and we just the good news is I think this is going to come later in the podcast, so we won't get demonetized. But just for the future episodes, maybe we could say freaking.
Okay, I ain't. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's fine, it's fine.
I ain't humping that.
But this is this podcast is for adult guys, so it's fine. All right, so first one is called Fox 5 Jetpack Fail. Well, let's watch this and just
live here at the San Diego Yacht and Boat Show. Good morning, everybody. I'm hanging out with
and it's a guy on a jetpack. If you're just listening.
I ain't humping that.
Dude, what?
That's going to leave a mark.
All right, the great reacting. All right, so now the next one is something I just found today by typing in funny, because we're doing Rizz. I typed in Rizz and skit, and this came up. I don't know how much Rizz it has, but it's called Borat making people laugh. Viral, hashtag Rizz. So here we go.
You rarely see this guy make.
Water?
It's not the famous Borat. It's a guy with a mustache, fake mustache.
You have a lot in your room.
Water?
Oh.
Yeah,
Please fill your mouth and put the water. Spoons. That's your job.
So he's
Two guys.
doing.
So this guy is the new Borat, like this.
Yeah, they've hired him. The other
They hired a new
Borat
to-
died. Yeah.
My car. It have 4 wheels. 4 wheels.
And those were the Stranger Things kids. Or?
Yeah, I don't know, but it was a really. Oh, I forgot to say my thing. What was I going to?
Should we do it again?
What?
Yeah, we
No,
should.
I don't
it.
want to. I don't need to.
You
say
want?
it again.
Let's do it one more time so you can say it. Right?
Those were fun. Those are good jokes.
They were
though.
good.
Borat's funny.
Yeah, he's one of the funniest guys.
How
ever.
were you supposed to react? You were supposed to do.
I was gonna say, dude, what? Oh no, I wasn't gonna do the head thing. Let's watch it one more time.
One more time. What should I say? Because I can't really say something corny or
something from Borat. Say,
Okay.
oh, I remember this Borat. Say, I seen this. I seen
that's
this
good.
movie.
That's good. Yeah.
All right.
Oh man, I remember this guy, Borat. Me and my dad would watch this.
Water?
Was my wife.
That's going to leave a mark.
All right. So now legally, I guess anyone could make a Borat now.
He's public
Yeah.
domain.
Public domain. 'Cause
Yeah.
it's been a long enough time. Great. All right. So, and finally we have old man. Okay, vapes and dies. And this time I'm going to say, I said, dude, what? I've said, bro. And this time I'm going to say, okay, ouch. Anybody
Okay.
else?
I'm gonna say, yo, this guy is old as hell.
All right.
I'm going to say, Where'd they get a guy like that from?
Okay, great. All right, here we go.
Yo, this guy old as hell.
Where'd they get a guy like that from?
And he's an old guy vaping. Whoa, it's loud. So he's vaped and now he's coughing, but it's been edited. It's been edited with what that kind of thing. That's called like YouTube poop. Have you heard of this? People make weird videos and they do weird edits. There's a lot of
And now is YouTube poop related to Skibbity Toilet or?
You could make a Skibbity Toilet YouTube poop. So this is something. So basically, that means.
Well, I mean, I know what it is, but maybe for our
the
listeners,
audience,
you should like explain.
A YouTube poop is where you take a YouTube video, you make like a really weird edit of it, with a lot of like distorted sound and weird cuts.
Yeah.
And so Skibbity, you could take a Skibbity
Toilet.
I tell you what.
Yeah, I know that.
We're gonna watch one more video.
Okay.
Skibbity Toilet YouTube poop. Skibbity.
I mean, I've seen this one, but yeah,
toilet.
Of course.
YouTube poop. And
YouTube
how many?
Poop.
I type in Skibbity Toilet YouTube poop. There's probably thousands.
How the left?
This is a joke. This is funny. So here we go. YouTube poop Skibbity Toilet, and here we go.
What do you got there, Peter? Rice cakes.
So, and this is
this classic YouTube poop. I mean,
right. They put a bunch of weird stuff together. Vine booms, and there's Skibbity Toilet in the corner. And again, if you're listening to the podcast, you just look up YTP Skibbity Toilet from Spigots and Comedy 2.0. 4 subscribers. But well, anyway. This is great. Well, all right. Anyway, we'll just we don't need to see the rest of that one, but it was a really good YouTube poop. Don't look it up.
Where'd they get a guy like that from?
Yeah, that was a great segment. So we've covered a lot of stuff. We've covered Rizz. We've covered swag, and now it's time for our closing statements. If anyone, I can start. I guess I'll start this time. So, some people have Rizz. Some people have swag. But at the end of the day, if we can't just acknowledge that we are all people, we are Rizz havers, swag havers, let's stop this divide. I mean, yes, it's embarrassing to still be having swag. Yes, it's amazing to still be having Rizz. But if at least we can't feel some sympathy for our fellow human beings if they have swag instead of Rizz, if we can't do that, what can we do?
Yeah. I agree. I think, it's like, remember when you were in school, which was like a few years ago.
I don't need to remember because I'm in driving school for my DUI. I have to go once a week for a month. Yeah.
Well, you know that they would always be like, it doesn't matter if you're white or black or purple or green. They would like list all these colors. And I think it's also like, if you have swag, if you have Rizz, if you're canceled, we're all sort of like the same thing, and maybe there are people that are purple out there. I don't know, Yeah, you have to think about that.
I just changed my mind because hearing you, you're canceled. All right, Dan, thoughts, Rizz, swag?
I'm not canceled, but
I really hope a third option presents itself in the next 5 years, and maybe we. Oh, sorry, I almost knocked your coffee over.
Yeah, that would not be Rizz.
No. Although maybe I'm trying to spill some beverage on you so you take your clothes off.
I'm sorry to interrupt. I just thought of something. Me before coffee. Where's my Rizz? Me after coffee. I got Rizz. And that's a comedy sketch which I'll be sort of fleshing out. So follow me online for the full version.
But I was just trying to say maybe we could workshop a third option for something.
Oh, that's a good idea.
That's something that's even better than Rizz and swag. Maybe something like
Sporg.
Sporg sounds
That sounds kind of like too much like swag. What about should it be a real word? Drimp.
Okay, because that's like drip meets pimp.
Yeah.
Drimp.
Or I was thinking drip meets shrimp. But
Shrimp.
Yeah.
Okay.
Shrimp. Drimp.
Drimp is when you kind of smell like a fish, but you're still cool.
In a good way.
Yeah, you got nice clothes.
You got nice clothes, and people are like, all right, just give me a clothes hanger.
If you smell like shrimp, you probably got some money.
That's
the
right.
thing.
Yeah.
Shrimp,
you got shrimp
are not.
money.
I'm seeing them for $9, $10, $11 a pound, and these are for frozen not farmed Vietnamese shrimp.
Yeah.
Well,
Not even
I'm sorry.
jumbo.
Yeah, they're not jumbo. These are smaller shrimp.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So what were we talking about? I'm so sorry.
Well,
This
if you
is
smell
hard.
like shrimp, but you're still like a cool guy, like people put on clothes hangers just to be around
then you're
with,
drimp.
around you. Yeah, then you're drimp.
Then you got drimp.
You got drimp.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I guess that's pretty much it. We made a lot of good points.
And you're a pimp.
We made it to an entire half hour
Yeah.
without any sort of big lulls.
Yeah.
So I think this is going to be great, and this is better than Talk to Her.
Yeah. This was pretty lawless and
Lucy Lolas.
yeah.
All right. Thanks so much for listening, and make sure to listen to this. Leave us a review
Yeah.
on Swag Dunes.
And remember, I'm cool, and Tony is too.
Thank you.